dream I know, deep up my feelings for you.
What Nnamdi told Igbo governors about ending IP0b agitation. But before we proceed with this news, welcome to Reality Letters, this your home of news and politics. Thank you all so much for joining us on today's news. If this is the first time of watching, please do us a favor to like and subscribe and also share. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to get notified when next we drop our video. You can send in your comments and keep the conversation lively in our comment section. To all our amazing subscribers, thank you so much for joining us. To all our viewers, feel relaxed, enjoy and stay connected. The founder of youth movement in the South is Igbo Youth Movement and Secretary of Eastern Consultative Assembly, Evangelist Elliot Ugochukwu Oko, in his interview, speak on, among other issues, security challenges in the Southeast, why the region is in distress politically, as well as how to restore sanity in the region and Nigeria. He said before and after the election that they have been very quiet, that the Southeast has been in the news for all kinds of reasons. When he was asked about the thought on the political climate today, he said that he have deliberately stayed away from partisan politics, elections and contests for power, that he chose to stick to the real issues, that the desire and struggle for political powers do not solve problem, that they rather create more problem. So in his own experience, spanning several decades, that he regrettably realized that our people are easily carried away, swayed and blinded by the allure and the promises of power that seems to lose their sense. They can easily be deceived and manipulated and taken along unreasonably, unrealistic and unhelpful paths. So he rather choose to remain consistent in his commitment to truth and a better country for all, regardless which political party or leader emerges victorious in the elections, that he chose to remain committed to his advocacy for the return to true federalism and power devolution, because that is at the heart of our people as a country. So he cannot be seen at his age jumping up and down shouting articulated, batified, obedient or kwankwasia, because he have seen many election cycles that he should know better than to allow himself to be occupied by distractions, that he allow politicians and their supporters to do their thing, that the most important thing in life of the country is not which party won election or from what region the president hailed from, but the urgent need to save the country and set it on the path to genuine growth and greatness by agreeing on fair and just article of association. That if they will a consensual agreement on how to live together, a new grand norm anchor on justice, equity and level playing field for all, that above all, they need a restructuring of the polity anchored on true federalism and power devolution, that the anonymous power at the center should be whistled down and more power granted the federating unit that has been central to his activism for decades. Adding to this, he said that his consistent cry for 24 years that the deliberately neglect of the eastern region by successful central government is unhealthy and unhelpful, that a policy of affirmative action to cautiously address infrastructural deficits in the region will calm frayed nerves and give the people of the region a sense of belonging, that there is no functional international airport in his region, nor railway services, nor seaports, that people of the region rightly or wrongly believe that could be deliberately because of the war that ended 53 years ago, that they are forced to believe that could be deliberate because of the war that ended 53 years ago, that they are forced to migrate to other regions, and that led in an external migrations. Indisputable evidence abound that the region has not been fairly treated, that he also raised his voice to present the truth that the agitation has been terribly mishandled and engaging the agitators directly remain the way to go, and he have no interest whatsoever in whom is senator, governor or president, that he remain consistent through the grace of God over the decades, because politicians who struggle to turn him down into a praise singer regretted their experiment. So is the advocacy for restructuring Nigeria losing steam today? Because the truth remains the truth, regardless of how much people talk about the truth or not. Nigeria will make greater progress and experience faster growth and advancement when they face reality and address the structural issues dragging us behind. The unitary 1999 constitution designed by the military won't take this country to the promised land. So President Bola Tinubu himself knows that. our politician knows that devolving power to the federating units will positively transform Nigeria and release our energies towards attainment of our full potentials. We should face reality and save the future generations of embarrassment. Our huge debt burden, our untapped solid minerals, our ever-growing population, our near-total dependence on oil, and the reality that fossil fuel is getting out of fashion. Unemployment and social and economic challenges ravaging the land all make it imperative that we face reality. When he was asked concerning the agitation in the Southeast, because it has gotten messy, stay at home has become a phenomenon, insecurity and all that how do we get here? He's saying that Raphael Wazuruki founded Mazob in September 1999 with less than 100 random young men at Agitation Street, Lagos, when he visited him at Ikeja office a few weeks later to help him appear on television. That's something Jikato of AIT did for him after he introduced them to each other, that he told him the membership had grown in 2000. They grew in size and strength over the years in spite of the onslaught against them. That Raphael was on stage by Nnamdi and they grew stronger and bigger. That from 1999 to date, they have not been invited to a dialogue, and the root cause is still feeding the frustration and the agitation. That from a few thousand to several millions, and then the ability to paralyze the entire region simply means that whatever strategy that was adopted to contain the agitation only grew the agitation instead. The need to appraise and review the strategy of containment cannot be overemphasized. So the agitators should have been listened to, their grievance and addressed. Error of judgment is responsible for the mercy. That he co-arranged the meeting between Nnamdi and the Southeast governor on the 30th August 2017. At that meeting, that Nnamdi stated that power devolution and infrastructure development were central to the frustration that inspired the agitation. So he pleaded for the restructuring of Nigeria and demanded for core infrastructural development of the East, seaports, international airports, railway services, as the condition for closure and resolution of the agitation. So he also said that his demands were not absolute, meaning that he was open to further negotiations. He was at the meeting that the problem is that the authorities seem uninterested in identifying and addressing the root cause of the agitation. The underlying causes that inspired the agitation have not been addressed. So the focus has been on the fallout of the agitation for the past 24 years instead of the root causes. How do you think future elections will play out, given the fact that the Southeast has been denied the chance to rule Nigeria? So he said he has made up his mind very early in his life to shun partisan politics, that he has stayed very far away from politicking, that he remained consistent in his advocacy for restructured Nigeria's affirmative action towards infrastructure development of the East and identifying, addressing the root cause of the anger and frustration that drive the agitation. He said he told President Obasanjo, Yar'Adua, Jonathan and Buhari, and he's telling President Tinubu the same, that the unitary structure of the 1999 Constitution is a cog in the wheel of our advancement as a country. Devolution power to the federating units will positively transform Nigeria, that the younger generations of Ndigbo see no future for their children. Nigeria has been grossly unfair to them and their region since 1970, and they are afraid of handling over the same second-class status to their own children. They want to be treated fairly and justly. Infrastructural deficits in the region hurt them and inspire a feeling of resentment which powered the agitation. So guys, let me know what you think about this in the comment section.